All right, today we're diving deep into the Sahara Desert, but maybe not the Sahara you're picturing. We're going to look at it as this incredible economic frontier, a place just packed with contradictions.
So, let me ask you, when I say Sahara Desert, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Yeah, I'm willing to bet it's something like this, right? Just miles and miles of sand, a blazing sun. It's the classic picture we all have, and hey, for good reason.
But what if I told you that picture is just scratching the surface? The truth is, the Sahara is one of the most paradoxical places you can imagine. So yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, so before we can even talk about the opportunities here, you've got to understand the sheer challenge of the place, which brings us to our first section, the unforgiving giant.
And when I say giant, I mean truly giant. We are talking about 9.2 million square kilometers. To put that into perspective, that's an area that swallows up more than 10 countries, huge ones, like Algeria, Libya, and Mali. It's just immense.
And the climate? It is just brutal. During the day, you're looking at temperatures that can easily top 50 degrees Celsius. But then, because there's no cloud cover to act like a blanket, all that heat just vanishes into space at night. So the temperature can literally drop down to near freezing. That kind of swing is one of the most extreme you'll find anywhere on Earth.
And water? Forget about it. On average, the whole place gets less than 100 millimeters of rain a year. Some spots can go for years without a single drop. It's pretty much the definition of dry.
Okay, so we've established it's a harsh, almost otherworldly place. But that's really only one side of the coin, because buried in all that hostility is our second section, a land of opportunity.
See, hidden right under all that sand is a literal treasure chest of resources, stuff that powers and feeds our world. You got these huge reserves of oil and natural gas, especially in countries like Algeria and Libya. But it's not just that. The whole region is loaded with other key minerals. I'm talking iron ore, uranium, and this one might surprise you, phosphates, a ton of them in Morocco. And those are absolutely essential for the fertilizer we use to grow food all over the globe.
And just to give you an idea of what that oil wealth looks like, a country like Algeria on its own pumps out more than 1 million barrels of oil. Not a month, not a week, every single day. That is a river of cash and energy, and it basically fuels their entire economy.
But the real game changer for the Sahara might actually be what's above it, the sun. It gets blasted with some of the most intense solar radiation on the planet. We're talking over 3,000 hours of sunshine a year. That makes it like the perfect spot for massive solar farms. Think of something like the Noor Solar Complex in Morocco. The potential there is insane, generating clean energy for millions, maybe even exporting it to other continents. And the value isn't just what you can dig up or capture from the sky. It's the land itself. The place is stunning, and that creates its own economy. Tourism is a really big deal here. People pay for those once-in-a-lifetime experiences, right? Camel treks across those huge sand seas they call ergs, or exploring these vast, flat, rocky plateaus called hamadas. And it's more than just pretty pictures. It's a chance for real cultural connection with groups like the Tuareg. And that brings money directly into the hands of the people who live there. So, you see the picture forming? You've got this incredible potential for wealth and energy, but it's all sitting in one of the toughest places on the planet. And that conflict is exactly what our third section is all about, the great obstacles.
And this slide, I think, just lays out the central problem perfectly. For every single opportunity, there's a massive roadblock. For instance, you find all this mineral wealth. Great, but how do you get it out? The transport costs are insane, and there are hardly any roads. Or, okay, let's build giant solar farms. But then a sandstorm rolls in and just wrecks the equipment. And the real kicker, you need people to work there, right? But the only water is from these ancient underground sources that, once they're gone, they are gone for good.
And it's not like these are separate problems. They all pile on top of each other. The heat makes just working outside dangerous. The huge distances and lack of roads make getting anything anywhere a total nightmare. A sandstorm can bring everything to a grinding halt. And then you throw in political instability in some of these areas, and suddenly, investing for the long term feels like a huge roll of the dice. So you see, it's not just one thing, it's this tangled web of challenges.
So, with all that in mind, how in the world do you move forward? How do you tap into the potential without getting crushed by the obstacles? Well, that's what our final section is about, balancing the future.
Pretty much everyone who studies this agrees that there's only one real way to do it. It's a concept called sustainable management.
Now, the idea itself sounds pretty simple. Take advantage of the economic opportunities, but do it in a way that doesn't cause permanent damage. And, this is the big one, you can't drain those finite resources, especially that ancient groundwater we talked about. Easy to say, incredibly hard to do.
And really, that brings us to the big, final question for this land of extremes. The Sahara has incredible potential, both in old energy, like oil, and new energy, like solar. So, can it help power our future without destroying its own? Can we tap into its wealth without wrecking its fragile, ancient ecosystem? That's the challenge. But you know, it's also the great opportunity.